Hey guys, welcome to our Tuesday edition of our Holy Week devotionals. I want to remind you that we will be celebrating the resurrection of Jesus this Sunday, and you can access that here on Facebook, or you can also access that on our website, hnw.org/online. We'll have 5 services, 8 a.m., 9:30, 11, 5 p.m., and then again, we'll replay on Tuesday at 7 p.m. as we talk about the greatest news in the world. Yesterday, I spoke about the waving of the branches and how those celebrations turn into betrayal and how our own hearts can do that. Today, I wanted to let you know how the Zac Brown Band is actually a way that I remember what Jesus did next. So not too long ago, I got a Zac Brown record on vinyl. I don't know if you guys are into vinyl, but I have just kind of a cheap little turntable, and I enjoy listening to vinyl here at the house. But we had a problem. Somehow, some way, not making any accusations, just saying, somehow, some way, some pretty good scratches made it onto the vinyl. I'm not going to lie, whenever you're listening to the dulcet tones of the Zac Brown Band and suddenly they start skipping or bumping around, it's not quite the same experience. So I have this record, but unfortunately, it's really kind of ruined now. Right after Jesus came into town, the first place that he went was he headed to the temple. And he went in and he cleansed the temple. The Gospels tell us in many different accounts that Jesus drove out those who would come in to make money off of the worship of the people. I mention that because Jesus seemed concerned that the right form and the right way of worship be preserved. Lots of different things were happening there, but essentially people were making money and changing money as people were not bringing the actual sacrifices that they ought to have brought, but instead sort of providing a drive-through service, if you will, so that they could meet their sacrificial obligations. I mention all of this because Jesus said, no, this is supposed to be about prayer. Now, sometimes we can read that passage and think that means that we should only pray. And certainly prayer is important, and prayer is the heart of much of what we do, not discounting prayer in any way. What I want to focus on, though, is this, is that Jesus, I think, was pointing back to the heart. He was saying it's not about these external activities, but instead prayer, which is supposed to flow straight from the heart in our relationship with God. Certainly that would line up with what the minor prophets had said, right? Whenever the prophets said that God desired mercy, not sacrifice, oftentimes the form of worship had become more important in the minds of the people rather than actually the God who was the object of worship. I mention all this because it reminds me of this Zac Brown record, in the sense that in many ways, I still have the record, but it's no longer useful. I think that Jesus looked at the worship in the temple and said, this isn't really what I'm after. Yeah, you're still going through the motions, but it's actually kind of worthless. In the same way, I think that for many of us, whenever we come together this Easter, there's this sense of we're missing out. There's not packed rooms. There's not the opportunity to wear our nice Easter clothes. We're not going to be able to get together and have whatever family meal we normally have. But let's be honest, the most important thing about Easter is not gathering together. It's not the packed room. It's not the family dinner afterwards, which are all nice things to celebrate. But the most important thing is the resurrected Christ. And nothing can take that away. We will be worshiping in separate homes on Sunday, looking at different devices and screens, but at the end of the day, we will still be celebrating Jesus. This is an opportunity for each of us to purify our hearts in worship. This is an opportunity for us to spend more time in prayer, to really reflect on what it is that's valuable to us in the church. Yes, the people who are there, but first and foremost, the God who has conquered death and given us his Spirit through the resurrection of his Son, Jesus Christ. Let's allow God to clean house in our own hearts this Easter. As he starts to kick out the money changers in the scripture, we ask him to kick out the idols of our heart, the places where we have made worship to be false. So join me as we celebrate Holy Week. And again, I'll see you this Sunday, Easter Sunday, Resurrection Sunday, 8 a.m., 9:30, 11, 5 p.m., and Tuesday at 7. Have a blessed day. Talk to you soon.